Hi. Lawton's unique history really impacts the type of housing that we have. So a lot of times I'm explaining to clients the history of the neighborhoods when I'm explaining the value. One of the oldest neighborhoods we have is not one that we often do a lot of sales in, but it began as Lawton began in 1901. It's called Beal Edition. There was a lottery where land was given for homesteads and a space was set up for the town. A lady named Maddie Beal was the second to be drawn in the lottery, and she was awarded the land in that edition, that I mentioned, the Beal edition. She married a lumberyard owner and saved the town by selling off parts of her lots at a loss in order to keep in town many of the people who weren't lucky enough to actually be awarded land. What they're supposed to do is use the land as a homestead and grow crops there. So if they sold it off earlier than the agreement, then they'd actually have to pay back money. She didn't stop there. She actually also donated the land for us to have an elementary school, and that was our first school, which is Lincoln Elementary School, and she donated land for Union Park. And during that time, the houses were clapboard houses. They were built on a crawl space, and a lot of them had garages. And you'll notice the houses in this area are going to be around First Street and A and B and C. It's going to be those first streets of the town. Over the years, some of these houses were even shipped off to other towns that had suffered from tornadoes and needed ready shelters. And around town center, you'll find homes that have been made into multifamily units, and many of those were done during World War II, when they really needed places for the families to stay, of the soldiers and their families who were going off to war. You'll also notice that some of these houses have multifamily above the garages. So you'll have a garage and then you'll have a unit above that. So it's a very neat how the history of the town really plays into some of these additions. With Beal Edition, when I've looked at the sales for the last year, we had a house that sold at $8,000 in that neighborhood and one that sold at $100,000, and the rest were in between that. It's not going to be the fancier houses per se. It's going to be the older little cottages and usually lower income housing in that area, but some really nicer housing in that area as well. So that is Beal Edition, and a little bit about the town beginnings of Lawton, Oklahoma. Hope you've enjoyed.